One big question for you. What makes things catch on? Why do some ideas or products or even behaviors just spread like wildfire?
It's a fascinating question. We've been looking at some materials specifically from the book Contagious, Why Things Catch On.
Right. And our mission here is to unpack the core reasons why some things become super popular, mainly through word of mouth.
And the examples are all over the place, aren't they? Viral videos, sure, but also why some restaurants succeed, public health campaigns that actually work. It's pretty broad.
It really is. And when you start looking into it, like the research in Contagious does, you see it's less random than you might think.
Exactly. It seems like chance, but there are these underlying patterns. They've studied, everything from baby name trends to New York Times articles, car buying, YouTube videos.
All trying to figure out that social transmission piece, how stuff spreads between people.
Precisely.
And one of the first things that jumps out is just how powerful, simple word of mouth is. Compared to traditional ads.
Oh, definitely. We get bombarded by ads, but when a friend tells you something,
you trust it more, right? It feels more relevant.
Yeah, the research backs that up. More trustworthy, more targeted, and it seems to lead to customers who are, happier and actually more valuable.
And the cool thing is, it's not just for huge companies with massive budgets.
Not at all. That's really key.
Yeah.
These principles, they're accessible. A small business, even an individual with a great idea can tap into this. If something's genuinely remarkable, people will talk.
It's interesting, too, how much focus is on social media, but the book makes a point about, actual face-to-face conversations. Still super important.
Maybe even more so sometimes. Offline talk has depth.
Right, more back and forth.
Yeah, and social media, it's a tool. It gives you reach, but it's not the strategy itself,
It needs to spark real conversation, online or off.
Exactly. It's the talking, the sharing between people that gives an idea legs. Sometimes a small, deep conversation has more impact than thousands of quick online views.
And just to underscore, this isn't just guesswork. The research behind Contagious is pretty solid.
Yeah, they analyze a ton of data, baby names over years, NYT shares, car sales figures, YouTube patterns, really digging into the why.
It's scientific, grounded in data.
And all that research led to this framework called STEP PS. It's an acronym for the 6 principles they identified.
Okay, STEP PPS. What does that stand for?
It's social currency, triggers, emotion, public, practical value, and stories.
Got it. A framework to understand contagiousness. Probably too much to cover every detail today, but it gives you the main ideas.
Exactly. It's a great starting point.
Okay, so let's dive into the first one. S for social currency. What's that about?
Well, the basic idea is that we share things that make us look good, things that reflect positively on us.
Like boosting our own image.
Kind of.
Yeah.
It's like, social capital. Sharing cool stuff makes us seem smart or in the know or interesting.
Makes sense. The book has that example, right? The $100 cheesesteak.
Yeah, at Barclay Prime in Philly.
Yeah.
A cheesesteak is usually, a few bucks?
Totally. So how do you make that remarkable, especially when so many restaurants fail?
Well, putting a $100 price tag on it definitely gets attention.
For sure. It becomes a story.
Exactly. It's not just food, it's something to talk about. I had a $100 cheesesteak. It makes the teller seem, experienced, maybe a little daring. It cuts through the noise.
So it's about creating something remarkable, something worth remarking on.
Precisely. But it doesn't always have to be flashy like that.
Yeah.
The book talks about inner remarkability, finding something amazing in the seemingly ordinary.
Like the Blend Tech Will It Blend videos.
Yes. Perfect example. Who knew watching blenders destroy iPhones and golf balls could be so compelling?
Right. It took a boring appliance and made it fascinating. Suddenly, blenders were shareable.
And it made you, the viewer, feel like you discovered something cool and surprising.
And the data backs this up. More remarkable means more sharing.
Yeah. A big study they mentioned looked at thousands of products. Clear link. Remarkability drives online word of mouth.
But it's not just about being outlandish. Surprise works too.
They mentioned a study where researchers, get this, planted cockroaches during a cooking experiment.
Ew. Okay, that's memorable.
Definitely something you talk about. It creates a story through sheer surprise, or maybe shock.
And mystery helps too, like the Blair Witch Project.
Yeah. Was it real? Was it fake? That ambiguity fueled endless conversation and speculation. People had to talk about it to try and figure it out.
Okay, so remarkability, surprise, mystery. What else builds social currency?
Exclusivity and scarcity are big ones. Think invite-only sales or limited editions.
Like feeling you're an insider.
Exactly. Rue La La, that online retailer, apparently sold the same stuff as a competitor, Smart Bargains.
Oh, yeah.
But Rue La La framed it as exclusive, invite-only deals. That feeling of being special, getting access others don't have, huge boost to social currency.
I can see that. And the last piece you mentioned was game mechanics, like loyalty programs.
Yeah, think airline miles or those 4 square badges people used to collect. It's about status, showing achievement.
Making progress visible.
But, and this is important, the status needs to be clear. Like Olympic medals, gold, silver, bronze, everyone gets it.
Unlike some confusing credit card tiers, maybe.
Exactly. If people can't easily understand where they stand, that status element, that social currency, kind of fizzles out.
Okay, so social currency is about sharing things that make us look good. But what keeps stuff top of mind? That leads us to T-triggers.
Right. Triggers are basically cues in our environment. Things we see, hear, or experience that remind us of something else, a related product or idea.
Like a mental link.
Pretty much. The book gives the Mars bar example. Sales apparently spiked during NASA missions to Mars.
Really? Without any specific ads?
Yeah, just the name Mars being in the news acted as a trigger. People heard about the planet and subconsciously maybe thought about the candy bar.
Wow, subtle.
And sometimes these triggers are deliberately built. Think Kit Kat and coffee.
Ah, the Coffee Break Association.
Exactly. They've linked the two for years. Now, for many, thinking about coffee triggers the thought of a Kit Kat. It's become part of the coffee break habitat.
Habitat, like the environment where you'd encounter the product.
Sort of. It's the set of triggers linked to an idea. And you can even hijack triggers, like with the poison parasite strategy.
Poison parasite. Sounds ominous.
It's when, say, anti-smoking ads used Marlboro's cowboy imagery. They took a powerful existing trigger for smoking and linked it to their anti-smoking message. Very clever.
That is clever.
Yeah.
So what makes a trigger effective?
Frequency is key. How often does the trigger occur? And also the strength of the link.
Okay.
Kit Kat and coffee is frequent for many coffee drinkers, and the link is strong. But, seeing a random public service ad once while you're distracted, weak link, low frequency. Not likely to stick.
Right. And then there's the Rebecca Black Friday example.
Oh, yes. Love it or hate it.
Opinions definitely varied.
But that song had a killer trigger built right in. Friday. Every single week, the day itself reminded people of the song Searches Spiked. That trigger kept it going.
Got it. Triggers keep things top of mind. Now, E is for emotion. This seems straightforward feelings make us share.
Yes, but it's more specific than just any emotion. It's about high arousal emotions.
High arousal. What does that mean?
Emotions that fire us up, make us want to do something. Think awe, excitement, amusement, but also anger and anxiety.
Ah, so not just positive ones.
Right. These contrast with low arousal emotions like sadness or contentment. Those tend to make us less active, less likely to share.
Okay, that makes sense. The United Airlines guitar incident comes to mind.
Perfect example. People were angry. That high arousal negative emotion fueled sharing like crazy. Millions saw that video, and it even apparently hit their stock price.
Anger is a powerful motivator.
It really is. But positive high arousal works too. Think about something awe-inspiring or incredibly funny. You want to share that feeling.
What about the BMW films, The Hire? Weren't they more about anxiety and suspense?
They were. Not exactly feel good, but they were high arousal. That excitement, that tension got people talking, sharing the films, and ultimately boosted BMW.
It's kind of counterintuitive that negative or tense emotions drive sharing.
It is, but it's about the activation, the physiological arousal. The book even mentions that things like exercise or even a near-miss accident can temporarily increase our tendency to share whatever's on our mind just because our bodies are physiologically aroused.
That's wild. Any heightened state makes us more likely to talk.
Seems that way. Okay, so moving on to P Public. This one is about visibility.
If we see other people doing it, we're more likely to do it too.
Basically, yes. Observability is key.
Yeah.
The easier it is to see what others are doing or using, the more likely that behavior or product is to spread.
Like the Apple logo on laptops?
Classic example. Initially, the logo faced the user. Steve Jobs flipped it so it faced outward when the laptop was open.
So everyone else could see it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It made private usage public. Every open MacBook became a little advertisement. Brilliant.
It ties into social proof, doesn't it? Looking to others when we're unsure.
Absolutely. We see a crowded restaurant we think must be good. We see everyone wearing a certain style, we might consider it. We use public behavior as a cue for what we should do.
But this can work negatively too, right? Like the kidney transplant example.
That's a sobering one. Because kidneys offered for transplants have often been declined by people higher up the list, those further down sometimes assume there must be something wrong with it.
Even if there isn't, just the fact it was previously refused creates negative social proof.
Exactly. The visibility of past refusals influences current decisions.
Right.
Then there's pluralistic ignorance.
Where everyone privately disagrees but thinks everyone else agrees.
Yeah, like maybe binge drinking on campus. People might not approve but assume everyone else does. Making the actual private opinions public can shift the norm.
And then there's behavioral residue.
Right. Those visible traces left behind when people adopt something. Think Lululemon bags, those yellow Livestrong bracelets, Movember mustaches.
They act like little public endorsements, free advertising.
Exactly. But there's a caution here too. Making undesirable behavior too public can backfire.
How so?
Like anti-drug ads that show lots of kids doing drugs, or statistics emphasizing how many people pirate music. It can accidentally normalize the very behavior you're trying to discourage. Makes it seem common.
Ah, tricky balance. Okay, next up is P for practical value. This feels intuitive, sharing useful stuff.
It really is. People like to share helpful information. News you can use.
Like that viral video of the old guy shucking corn really easily.
Perfect example. It wasn't fancy, but it was super useful. People shared it because it solved a common problem. It's like helping out your neighbor.
The digital version of sharing tips over the fence.
Kind of, yeah. The book compares it to old-fashioned barn-raising communities helping each other with practical things. Sharing useful info strengthens bonds, makes us look helpful.
And a big part of this is how value, especially around price, is framed.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's not just the price tag, it's the perceived deal. Highlighting savings using reference points.
Like those infomercials saying usually $200, now only $39.99.
Exactly. They establish a high reference point to make the sale price seem amazing. It taps into prospect theory too, the idea that losses loom larger than gains.
So framing it as saving $160 feels better than just seeing the $39.99 price.
Often, yes. Highlighting the discount, the value you're getting, can be very persuasive, making the practical value easy to see.
And we see this online too, like with news articles.
For sure. Remember the New York Times most emailed list analysis? Health and education articles, things with clear practical value, were consistently among the most shared. People want to share useful knowledge.
Okay, makes total sense. Last one, S for stories.
Right. Stories are basically vessels for information. We're wired to enjoy narratives.
So information travels better when it's wrapped in a story.
Much better. When we're listening to a story, our guard is down. We're less likely to argue or scrutinize the embedded message. It's like the Trojan horse idea, the message gets smuggled inside.
Like that story about the Land's End coat, the customer service one.
Yeah, instead of just stating Land's End has good customer service, the story about the specific interaction makes the point much more memorable and compelling. You retell the story, not just the policy.
But the story needs to be relevant, right?
Absolutely. That's what the book calls valuable virality. The brand message or the product benefit needs to be integral to the story.
Unlike just a random stunt that gets attention but doesn't connect back.
Exactly. Blendtex videos worked because the story was the blender's power. The Dove Evolution video story was intrinsically linked to its message about beauty standards. The story carries the point.
So the story itself delivers the value.
Precisely. It mentions, almost in passing, the spread of Vietnamese nail salons too. A complex diffusion that itself tells a kind of story, though maybe not one deliberately crafted for marketing.
Okay, wow. So those are the 6-step PS: social currency, triggers, emotion, public, practical value, and stories.
That's the framework. Understanding these gives you a powerful lens for seeing why things catch on and maybe how to make your own ideas spread.
It really pulls back the curtain on word of mouth. This deep dive gives you that foundation based on the Contagious research.
Definitely a lot to think about.
Absolutely. And maybe a final thought for you, our listener. Cast your mind back to the last thing you shared. Maybe an article, a video, a recommendation.
Yeah, which of these stubby S might have been at play? Was it useful? Did it make you look good? Was it emotional?
And thinking about it now, could anything have made it even more shareable? Just something to notice as you go about your day. You'll likely start seeing these principles everywhere.